What's going on, boys and girls? It's me, BenDPB, and we're back with another Ben Meets, and this time it's another returning guest. He was then a rising star back in 2017, and now, nearly 18 months on, he's got 15,000, or nearly 15,000 subscribers. It's TomFM. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to have you back. It's been a little while.
It has been a while. I'm excited for this now. I'm excited. It's like I listened back to the other one the other day, and it's crazy how much has changed since then. So yeah,
I listened back to it earlier, and it was weird. We're going to get into it, but some of the stuff you and I spoke about, stuff that we wanted to implement into the game, and they've actually done it. Maybe it's because of you and me that they brought the stuff in that we asked for.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think they've specifically listened to us and they've heard our feedback and they've done it.
I think you could be right. We spoke back then. I'll lead it straight into it. We spoke back then, and you had mentioned that you wanted to see basically an improvement in training, which you'd all been asking for years. And you also mentioned you wanted to see an improvement in the youth facilities, the youth development side of things, the youth improvement. So we've now got the development centre. So since these two things have come into FM20, FM19, how do you find them? Do you use them at all after you want them so very, very badly?
Yeah, I think that they're great that they're both in the game, but I don't use a training at all. I think generally with all the content creation that I do and stuff, I just don't have time to sit there and fiddle with training massively all the time. So training is just left to my assistant manager. If I didn't do YouTube, I might have a different viewpoint on it. But I think it is fantastic. I did have a go at it to start off when it first came out, and I thought it was a great addition to the game, and it was needed in there for the in-depthness and reality of stuff. But personally, I don't use it. But the youth development stuff, the development centre, I use that a lot because youth development is a big focus of a lot of my saves. So I've found that very useful, and I think that's a great implementation into the game.
I like the development centre a lot. I like looking at what it tells you who should get a push up to the first team, who should get a loan out, etc. I too like using the development centre. Training wise, I tried doing that myself, but I was absolutely god awful. Every player complained that it was too hard or too soft, as the wife would say. And I ended up basically using the Reckonist. He's got like a little training pack that he made himself. And I downloaded that, and I just use that myself now. So I bitched about training for years on FM. I just don't touch it now. But a lot of guys don't touch it anymore. It sounds weird, but we bitched out about it for so long, and none of us use it.
Yeah, I think it is more something that the people that consume content would watch it, or people don't even know content's a thing would do. I think just because it does take a long time to get it all right, and the micromanagement of it is just crazy, I feel. And it's just a bit too much for me, maybe. But I'm glad it's in the game because the option's there. I'd rather have the option to have it than not have it.
I've tried to do it myself, and you're right, that there's so much that goes into it, making sure you haven't got too much going on in one day, getting the right balance going on. It's quite difficult, but, it is a good addition to the game. I've really got to spend more time trying to get used to it rather than just downloading somebody else's training pack. I don't feel like it's cheating quite as much as downloading a tactic, but it's still a little bit naughty. I think trying to let the Reckless do all the work, and I come in and just take his training packs down. Daljit Busternet's also got himself a training pack, which I have used as well. I sort of used Daljit's along with the Reckless to sort of coincide the two of them together. Okay. But it's something that I haven't really used much as I should do, but that's just me being incredibly lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been streaming a little bit recently, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously we're all in lockdown at the moment, so lots of spare time. So I thought it would just be a good time to dabble in the streaming business and see what that's about as well, because I've got so much more free time now, so it just seemed to make sense.
How are you finding it?
You know what? Really enjoyable, actually. I wasn't quite sure how much I'd enjoy it because I quite enjoyed. The YouTube's good because I can record in private and then I'll make those mistakes and I can edit those mistakes out. So everyone thinks I'm, I don't know, maybe slick or something like that. I don't know, think I'm good, but really it's terrible. It takes a few takes to say things sometimes. So the editing there is good. So I didn't think I quite enjoyed the live streaming stuff because of that, but giving it a go. And actually it's fantastic. It's that instant gratification you get from talking to people straight away and getting 100%. Those replies. Like, you get a bit of a buzz off it, don't you? Like and that's something you don't find with YouTube. And obviously it's great talking to people in the comment section, but and you build the relationships with people through the comment section, which is great. But it's that instant stuff from Twitch that I've just it's a bit of a hook, really. It's a bit of a hook and a bit of a high almost. So I'm liking that and how it feels.
It's quite funny because when we spoke back in November 2017, you mentioned back then you had no plans to stream, and 18 months later, you finally crumbled under the pressure and you started doing it.
If we weren't in quarantine, I wouldn't be doing it either. That's the thing. It's just because I've suddenly got loads of time on my hands, and that's what's happened. But I'm glad that I'm obviously not glad that we're in quarantine and stuff like that, but I'm very glad that I've had the opportunity to explore streaming and stuff, and I should have done it sooner.
I mean, out of the two, I love YouTube because of, it's where I started, but I do prefer Twitch. But just unfortunately for me, I can't really send the wife to bed at 8 o'clock every night to go on and stream. So
yeah, I don't think you should be too pleased.
I do prefer Twitch because, as you said, it's that instant interaction, that instant conversation with somebody. YouTube is great because I also enjoy. I'm probably a narcissist. I do enjoy sitting down for hours and editing my footage, listening to myself talk. I quite enjoy doing that, as you can all tell. So I do enjoy YouTube for that reason, but Twitch for me is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. And it's that buzz from a raid. When you get a raid as well from a Loki or a Viking Dan as you got tonight, that buzz that you get, it's a really weird buzz. I remember when Loki raided me, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do. I just started panicking.
Amazing. No, it was strange because I've never really watched anything on Twitch either. I don't really watch a lot of content, to be fair, because I'm too busy making it and doing other things. But so I've never been in the Twitch scene, and I thought I'd give it a go. And it said Viking Dan's raiding you. I'm like, what the hell does a raid mean? I had no idea. He had to explain to me in the chat what was going on. I was like, oh, brilliant. Thanks for sending all your people over here. So that was great. That was fantastic to happen.
You've had a couple of saves this year. You've had your Grasshopper save, your Into Miami save, and you've now got your Around the Block Journeyman save. Some people this year are struggling with FM20, whether it be find the game too easy, too hard, someone's not enjoyed it quite so much. I personally I'm in the middle. 1 minute I love the game, the next minute I can't stand it, but that's much like any game that I play. How you find FM20 this year?
No, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I think my enjoyment for it comes more from getting excited, creating content for people and things like that. I've got a long list of saves and I keep getting excited about different saves. I keep coming up with different ideas. And I think that sort of carries through initially. And then once the novelty of the save sort of wears off a little bit, it's then trying to create the content for the people that sort of keeps me going a little bit, I'd say.
I mean, I enjoyed your Grasshopper save. It was one that I sort of watched the start, missed a little bit in the middle, I got back towards the end. But I loved the Grasshopper save. It was a save that I was contemplating doing myself purely because they were relegated. Nobody anticipated or saw Grasshopper ever get relegated because they're one of the big boys of Swiss football. So when they got relegated, it was a massive news for any football geek like you and I am. And exactly, it was a save that I wanted to do because I did a Basel save last year, maybe FM18. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So I knew a little bit about Grasshopper. So I thoroughly enjoyed your Grasshopper save. It's a shame you never won that much coveted Champions League. How did you find managing Swiss football?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed it and things like that. That's really nice. No, it was good. The thing is, though, the whole point of that, we had different goals to sort of keep us going because I knew it was going to be very difficult to get to the point where we could win the Champions League. But we had 5 goals. It was get promoted, then build a team, that's competitive, get ourselves into Europe, then win a Swiss Super League, and then go and win a Champions League or something like that. They were the goals, maybe not quite that in order, but they were the goals. And I think we got the first 4 goals in the first 2 or 3 seasons, really quickly. But then, obviously, we got to a point where we're winning the Swiss Super League every year, but not doing that great in the Champions League, and that was a bit of a drag, to be fair, and I think a lot of people felt that as well, and I think that's why towards the end a lot of views dropped off, and that's ultimately why I decided to stop it, because we were nowhere near winning a Champions League. We weren't going to win it anytime soon, and it was just getting boring and repetitive, winning the Swiss Super League every season, trying to keep it interesting. So it came to its natural conclusion, I suppose, in the end, and perhaps that's obviously something to learn from in the future when doing saves, to try and keep people engaged and stuff like that. But I did really enjoy it. I thought it was good fun. It was great to manage in Switzerland, somewhere I hadn't managed before, and new rules, new players. We met some great people and stuff like that. So it was interesting. It was good, but it just did get a little bit tedious towards the end.
For anyone that hasn't watched your save, how close to the Champions League did you get?
The last season is when we got the closest. We got to the semi-finals of the Champions League and lost to Manchester United. And then
that's pretty good for a Swiss team. That's pretty good.
It was good, but we got a very lucky draw, I think. We got lucky draws all the way through. So repeats of that, I think, would have been very difficult. So that's how it sort of had to end.
The furthest I got was the quarterfinals, and I was over the moon with that. I absolutely loved my time managing FC Basel or Basel, whatever you want to call them. But you've also managed in America, into Miami, the one place that nobody at FM20 pretty much wants to go near, look at, or touch. Just how bad is it in the MLS, or are we all being a little bit dramatic and we should give it a go?
It's a difficult question, really, because it's just such a different league to anything else in the world. So if you're looking for something truly different and unique, the MLS is a great one to go to. However, the rules are just a bit mental and it feels quite restrictive, the rules and stuff like that. The plan was only to do one season there, in the save, and it was to do it almost testing like live streaming, because I did it as a live series essentially, where I didn't have any breaks or anything like that. I just record for like an hour and then pretty much just upload it with minimal editing and stuff like that. And it was sort of bridging the gap between the end of Hop to a Top and whatever save I was going to do after that, which has turned out to be Around the Block. And it was just also, I thought it might do it quite well because obviously it's David Beckham's team, and I thought that a lot of people are going to be searching for that at some point. So the first video, to be fair, it's called Into Miami Live. People were looking for live streams. So the first episode got like 15,000 views, which is fantastic. But then when they realise it's not what they're looking for in terms of a live stream, they all drop off, which is to be expected, I suppose. So maybe that was something to learn from as well going forward. But there we go.
We've heard Dave Azzopardi on the Wishlist FM 5-Star Potential podcast. He's also had his issues managing in the MLS, where he struggled with the wage cap, among other things. It does sound like an incredibly difficult thing to do. I was hoping you, of all people, could persuade me to dip my toes into the MLS, the American League, and unfortunately, it hasn't quite happened.
Oh, no. Well, what I will say, it is interesting to manage, and it's just a completely different experience. And it's like playing a new game, because you've got to learn so much new stuff. So it could spark a resurgence in interest if you were losing interest in the game. It's something completely different. So save it for then.
You've also got a new save. It's basically called Around the Block, where you're going to manage teams around. I'll let you explain a little bit better. But it's a fascinating idea. It's one that I think is a really good idea. Just a little bit about the idea, how it came along, and how you're getting on 5 episodes in, I believe it was.
Yeah, so Around the Block, it's a journeyman save around the former countries of the Eastern Bloc. So essentially just any country that's playable from Eastern European Football Manager. I've loaded that up and we're getting going and stuff like that with it. And it sort of came about, I'd finished Hot to a Top and I was doing Into Miami. I was trying to think of something else to do, and all my saves are pretty much just one club saves. And I thought we have to have a little bit of variation in there before I start with just one club again. And most of my save ideas that I've got for future ideas are based in England, Western Europe sort of thing. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to explore some leagues that aren't particularly well known within, at least I don't really see many saves in the Football Manager community in this area. And I don't think it's, people know much about it. So I thought I'd try and do something a bit different, go to somewhere else that people haven't gone to before, and hopefully, people get excited about that and enjoy it and stuff like that. That's what hopefully is going to happen. People enjoy it.
I never would have thought of managing in the USSR, whatever you want to call it nowadays, until Loki did it in his journeyman save. And we've seen him go to CSKA Moscow and other teams in that. I mean, how are you finding so far your journey into Soviet Union football, or whatever you want to call it? Who are you managing? How are you finding a save? How you find the finance, etc.?
Yeah, so we've started off and we've got a job in the Belarusian leagues. I won't say which team yet because we'll hopefully people will come watch it. We're only like 5 or 6 episodes through, so still very early days, but we're in Belarus and it's interesting. Pronunciations are not my strong point, so I'm just getting berated in the comment section at the moment for saying things wrong, which is quite funny, to be fair.
Why don't you tell us one of the names that you can't pronounce particularly well, and it's he's becoming a bit of a meme.
Well, yeah, there's... Now, I think his name is, meant to be pronounced like Shai Tai Ellis. I'm not sure. I've not a clue. Either way, to me, it looks like Shitty Gel. So Shitty Gel, Shitty Gel is the player. He's the meme, and he's a fantastic lad. I'm a big fan of him. So he's going to be following me around hopefully for a little while. I'd like to keep him at the club, maybe even assistant manager down the line somewhere. That'd be great.
It was quite funny, and especially in your latest video to ruin it when you did a little intro at the start and you're talking to yourself, trying to get the name right, and the comments are coming up, criticise your pronunciation of the name. It's very funny.
Everyone comments all the time trying to tell me how to say it right. No one can accept that I just can't say it, and I'm sticking with shitty gel. Like whatever happens, I'm sticking with that. So he's my man.
Now, you also love an experiment or two. We've seen you do your If This Club Had £1 billion. You've also done some other experiments along the lines. I mean, are you a fan of experiments? Is it something that you prefer more to your normal content, or because you seem to be, let's be honest, you're like the experiment king. You and BenDPB are the guys up there that come along the most views, shall we say, when it comes to doing regular uploads for experiments. How do you find the experiments?
Yeah, the experiment stuff, I've not really done much of it in FM20. So, I mean, I started off doing experiments back in the day because, I wanted to find a new way to sort of get myself out there a little bit. I mean, I was enjoying I enjoyed the normal saves more. I think they're more interesting and I enjoy creating those a little bit more. That's the bread and butter. But to get the extra views, it started off with these experiments and it worked well. It worked very well because I was getting all the extra views and subscribers. Quite a nice core that are watching the experiments and then coming over to watch all the Let's Play stuff. But I don't know, perhaps I'm just not creative enough or something like that. But I've sort of not run out of ideas because I've got so many ideas. I had so many written down. It's just I've lacked the motivation to make any experiments, I think. And I think it's just not quite what I'm interested in at the moment. And I don't think the audience is that interested in the experiments that I have done in FM20 haven't performed well as, experiments in previous years. So I think the audience in general at the moment is looking for a bit of a break from experiments and stuff like that. So, I mean, I want to get back to doing them, but I just don't have the motivation to do it. I just get so much more excited about recording around the block or something like that, or doing a Twitch stream. I just find that so much more exciting at the moment. I feel the experiments are a little bit tedious at the moment for me. So they will come back. And I do enjoy them. I do think they're interesting. I love looking through and seeing all these results because everyone knows what happens when you give a club £1 billion, but there is something about it when you load it up yourself and start looking through it and think, wow, this is mental. I do enjoy that as well. So obviously the more complicated experiments, the more intrinsic ones coming as well soon. But yeah, at the moment, it's just not quite on the radar for me.
But we've seen a lot of people, should we say, copy your idea where they've also gone with giving a club £1 billion. Do you find it flattering to see other people copy your idea, or would you not see it as copying your idea? Because you were the first guys that did it, let's be honest. Well, so how do you feel you see other people do it as well?
Well, no, yeah, it's obviously imitation is the best form of flattery, as I say, but I can't really claim it as my idea. I'm sure I saw it elsewhere and things like that first. I'm sure or
so
very,
you stole it then? Wow, you've heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, I can't claim the full originality of it. I'm sure loads of people did it before me. Lots of people do it after me. I don't know if I can say I made it popular or something like that. Maybe I've got a contributing factor into making it popular.
I think you certainly did that because we saw with your channel, and I don't mean to disrespect, that your channel blew up, didn't it? When you started doing these, as you mentioned earlier, the experiments with the give a club £1 billion, give a league £1 billion, we just saw your channel absolutely explode.
It did. It was, I want to say Christmas 2017, maybe. Like, I think it was just after we did our first interview, and I was doing these experiments, and I went from like 400 subscribers one week to about 1,400 subscribers the next week. It was mental.
Wow.
It just carried. And I remember the time, like it was so exciting, like being, because that was the goal. That was the goal, to try and get 1,000 subscribers. And I'm thinking, wow, that'd be amazing to get there one day. In this little niche of Football Manager, and then to have that sort of happen so quickly was crazy. So yeah, it was really exciting at the time, and I really spammed out the videos after that because it was working very, very well. And I think, I don't know, maybe part of that spam, people just sort of got the gist of it. It was like, okay, we know what happens now, so we're not so interested anymore. But yeah, no, it was interesting. It was a fantastic time for me.
The general other content creators may got the gist for it, but it seems the general public, the general viewers still love it, because anytime we see you or anybody else do the let's give a club £1 billion, it tends to get a lot of views. I mean, to me, the common answer is you give someone £1 billion, they're going to do pretty well. They're going to do pretty well.
Exactly. I mean,
it's interesting to see how well they do and how far they go with £1 billion. Are they going to do what I'd imagine Luton Town would do and blow the money, or they actually do something with that £1 billion? You know what I mean?
The thing is, most clubs do blow the money. Most of them do blow the money and don't actually go that far. And sometimes I have to give them an extra billion to sort of get them over the line to see what I actually want to see. So that's kind of frustrating sometimes. But yeah.
So in terms of your content creation side of things, you've been around the scene now for a little while. You're one of the old boys, shall we say, no offense to yourself.
Blimey, I don't know if I class myself as that, but I guess I am in a way, yeah.
I'm afraid you are. When you've got nearly 15,000 subscribers and you've been in longer than 5 minutes, as most people tend not to last nowadays.
Yeah, true.
You consider an old boy. Yeah, how many guys do we see come in here for a month or two, then bugger off and never come back again? We've seen a lot of good content creators come and then go. We've seen some ones that look like they can be really, really good and then just sort of disappear into the ether. But you've stood the test of time. You must have had a bit of advice over your sort of 2-year period. Can you think of the best bit of advice you may have had?
Yeah, I think in the early days, the best bit of advice is, like, if you want to make it and, keep doing with content and getting good, you've just got to keep doing it. And obviously it's not for some people, they have a try, and it's not for some people, but the biggest thing is consistency and keeping going. If you can get that schedule going on YouTube early on or Twitch early on, that's the most important thing, having a consistent upload schedule and keeping yourself going out there. That's the biggest one for me. And maybe not someone's given me, but I'd say the biggest advice I'd give for someone brand new is to start with the club. Do your first ever save with the club you support, I think, because still to this day, my favourite ever save, I think, has been that Lincoln City save that I did on FM 18. And it's just because it's the club I support. And that's the sole reason I enjoyed it so much. It's the club I support, and I just had so much fun with it. So that's the advice I'd give to new creators. Make sure you stay consistent. And I'd start with the club I support, because you play it because you enjoy it. You're not trying to force something. You enjoy your club and playing as your club. And I think that comes across very well in videos and helps you get an audience early on.
So when it comes to giving advice and getting advice, do you get a lot of people come to you? Because sometimes being one of the bigger guys in the community, some people can be a little bit daunted by approaching you and saying, look, hi Tom, can you watch my video, for example? Do you get much of that at all?
No, I don't actually. And I wish I did. I wish I did get a bit more of that, because I'm more than happy to give advice. I mean, by no means, I'm not an expert or anything like that, by no means. But I would, be nice. It's nice I'd like people to engage, because I feel like I'm rubbish at talking to people in the community. I'm not very good at it. I know I'm not good at it. I need to do better at it. And I'd like, to reach out to more people more often. But it'd be nice to have people reach out to me as well. And, if they want a bit of advice, I'm more than happy to give it and stuff like that. Because I feel like I remember being a very small YouTuber at the time with, less than 100 subs, and seeing people on 15k subs like I'm on right now or something, thinking, bloody hell, like, I don't want to talk to them, because that's
100%.
If I say something to them, like, they're going to think I'm an idiot or something like that. But no, we're all nice people, we're all humans. And I feel like, I didn't feel any different to how I felt then, maybe, because, sometimes I'll talk to, the bigger creators out there, and I feel like, oh, well, I've got to say the right thing here. But you've just got to, there's nothing to be scared of. We're all normal people. We want each other to succeed and things like that. So if anyone ever wants to ask me for advice or anything like that, my DMs are always open. Sometimes I'm a bit slow seeing it, because sometimes it goes into that filtered inbox and I don't see it because I don't get notifications for that. So sometimes it may take me a little bit longer to get back to you, but just send me a tweet or anything like that, or Discord or whatever. So there we go.
You've opened yourself up to a world of trouble now, mate. You really, really have. You're going to get inundated.
Yeah. Once it all starts coming through now, I'm going to block the DMs and stuff like that,
yeah. But you're right, though. I've been doing Ben Meets now for over 2 years, off and on, shall we say. And even now, I've got less than 500 subscribers. Even now, I still get nervous contacting people, asking them to come on Ben Meets, for example. So I can imagine how daunting it must be for someone with 250 subscribers who's never done a podcast before and never spoken to a Tom or a Loki or a Dr. Benji. So to contact them and ask for advice can be a little bit daunting. But anyone who's listening to this now, everyone who's come on this podcast, you've heard every single one of the guys say, send me your stuff and I'll watch it for you. There's not been one person that said to me on here privately or on the podcast itself, I don't want any videos come my way. They all want to see your content. They're all happy to give you advice. And as Tom said, it may take a little while to get back to you due to the nature of what he does and how busy he is, but he will come back to you. He will watch reviews. I'm sure others will, like Loki, Bood, Benji, GWFM or Tenacious G, whoever else it may be, they're all going to watch your stuff if you ask them very politely and don't do what some people do, a good old-fashioned copy and paste message. That's always the worst thing you do.
Yeah,
try and make it a little personal.
I will ignore a copy and paste message because they're just so bloody obvious. Like it's like, hello, ... Please subscribe to my channel. Yeah. So that's when you sort of ignore it.
But I mean, I was a victim of that back in the day, and I still am now. I sent a couple of messages out to a couple of mates, asked them to do my press conference for my new save that's just come out.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you watch if you haven't done already, everyone. And I sent a copy and paste message out. And the first question I got was, "Hi Ben, this is Ben here for BenDPB News. Do you always copy paste your messages asking people to help you?" And I put that in the press conference. I was like, "I do, but only to the irrelevant people that I'm asking." And you're right, there's nothing worse than a copy and paste message. It's so impersonal. And I'm something I'm going to most certainly try and work on not doing. But I too am always available to review your content. It's a shame we haven't got Just Mike Plays anymore. Rest in peace, Just Mike Plays. He's not really dead, by the way. But
yeah, I was panicking then. Mike.
No.
Oh God.
His account is dead, shall we say? He's left the FM community scene.
He was
Just
a good
Mike
lad.
Plays. If you're an old boy like me and Tom and others, we all know from Mike from back in the day. He was a mobile FM player. And he was so good at spotting up and coming YouTubers and watching their content and giving them advice. And Mike was someone that was always a big part of me becoming a YouTuber because I did a video or two and Mike thankfully watched it and gave a bit of advice. And unfortunately for you, lovely lot, I'm still here to this day.
He was the exact same for me. He was the first person I think that messaged me saying I like your stuff, and I was like, oh wow, thank you. Like Mike was straight on there with me and stuff. I really appreciate what he did for me because he exposed me to a lot of other people out there and got me a bit more into the community and stuff. So Mike was a good lad. I miss Mike.
You also took part in the FM Creators Community Football Charity Cup thing, didn't you? How did it come about, and how did you get on in the match?
Yeah, that was class, actually. That was a really, really good day. Obviously, Fox in the Box sorted that one out because he wanted to do something for charity and decided, let's put a full match on with all these creators. And I think I just replied to his tweet very early on. And he just like, yeah, brilliant, we'll have you in there. So that was fantastic to be involved with that. That was crazy. So yeah, heading down to Leamington Spa to play that football match. And obviously it's all for charity and stuff and it's all for good fun. But like, I am very competitive, so I was going there wanting to win desperately, and I more than anything I wanted to score a goal. More than anything, I wanted to score a goal. So we started playing the game, and it was a really, really hot day. The pitch was quite dry, and I must have like 5 minutes into it, I remember like obviously, you know when you like misstep and it like jars your whole leg. I did that, and I remember like I had some pain in my back, so I had to like run off and get some like deep heat and rub that on for ages, which was just a bit embarrassing, really, more than anything else. But no, it was a great game. My team won. I was on the red team. I managed to score a goal later on it, which was great. I had a good celebration. Took my shirt off, running to the empty stands. Got a yellow card for that one as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Pep booked you, didn't he?
He booked me for that, yeah, which is fair enough. He's sticking to the rules, which is fair play. But obviously there was Manny came down, didn't he?
He did.
He's got over 1 million subscribers, and he was on my team. And
Manny was diving around like a lunatic with those tackles.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Manny was. He wasn't taking any prisoners that day. He really wasn't.
No, and that's the thing. We all got told to be really careful around him. They were like, please be careful with him because he's got a game tomorrow. Please be careful with him. And then he was the one sort of charging around, challenging everyone and stuff. I know. Yeah, I know. Wolfie was, he was going for it as well. But yeah, it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. And obviously in the changing rooms, I was sat next to Manny, and it was, I mean, at the time, I don't know how many subscribers I had at the time, but I was still pretty small, I think. And to have him with 1 million subscribers next to me, and he turned up in his Range Rover and stuff, and it's like, bloody hell, like,
really?
Yeah, like, you get that feeling, if this goes well, that could be me one day, or something like that. Obviously not with Football Manager, because Football Manager is never going to get as big as the FIFA and stuff like that. But it leads to other things, doesn't it? But it was a bit of inspiration, I think, sitting next to him and talking to him and stuff like that. So that was great. So it was a great day. Really massively enjoyed that. And Mike was there. Great to see Mike that day as well. He played well.
My biggest bugbear about that day wasn't the fact that I was invited to come and play. It was the fact that my arch nemesis, Herb the Nerd got man the match.
Yeah, Herb was just a defensive machine that day.
But to this day, that's rubbing it in my face. It's been, 18 months on, a year or two, whatever, and he still rubs it in my face and rubs it in everyone else's face that he won man the match. And he's still got it in the background of his stream. You know, you still see it there and that. He's very proud of that. And I don't like to big him up too much, but he was exceptional that day. He really was. I didn't think he had it in him. I didn't.
Well, no, that's the thing. I don't think anyone really thought that because I don't really know what anyone expected to see from each other, really. But he just cleaned up at the back. He was like the old school defender, just hoof it out, and it worked so well. He was class.
What we're going to get to now is no offense to yourself, it's my favourite part of the show. It's the Spitfire 11 questions. This is where we basically find out if we like you or we're never going to speak to you again.
Oh, okay. So I like this.
No pressure. So, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, I would say, but I don't really drink a lot of fizzy drinks. So,
what's your drink of choice then?
You're going to hate me. Water, honestly.
Hey, I drink water. I drink water. I've got a bottle of water from it right now. I've got like a Brita water filter that I drink all the time. So I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. If it's a flavoured thing, orange juice, I'll say that. But it's water. I just drink water all the time. That's the
orange squash. I'm a bit ghetto. I don't give it orange juice. I give it orange squash.
Yeah. I like that. I rate that.
So, what's your favourite takeaway?
This is a good one. I tell you what, it might be Chinese.
Well, what do you like having for Chinese?
But I'm thinking of other things now, like Domino's and fish and chips.
You strike me as like a curry rice and chips guy from the Chinese.
You know what? A Chinese chicken curry is divine. I love that.
I knew it.
chips from a Chinese they're always incredible, aren't they?
Always miss it with it, and they're always massive. They're like potato wedges, aren't they?
Yes, that's the thing. They're good like that. Yeah. So but I do like a good sweet and sour dish as well.
I normally go for. I do have a chicken curry and chips. I'm not a big fan of rice, but I don't give a chicken curry and chips, like good old fashioned British food.
I like that.
So FIFA or Pro Evo?
FIFA. I'd say. I don't think I can't remember. Pro Evo used to be good, but I can't remember last time I ever played it. So I'd say FIFA.
I was thinking, I can't stand FIFA. I was literally playing Pro Evo this morning. I love Pro Evo. I've just gone back to it. I've been playing FIFA I used to love Pro Evo back in the day, show my age. I then went to FIFA, but for the last 3 years, I've not enjoyed FIFA at all. So this year, I've gone back to Pro Evo, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I really, really am.
Is it still like Merseyside red and Merseyside blue and stuff like that?
It is, unfortunately.
Okay.
It is. Favourite film?
Favourite film? I tell you what I really enjoyed recently. I can't think of like my ultimate favourite, but what I really enjoyed recently was 1917. I thought that was a superb film. That was like one that, cause it's so unique the way they film it. The way they film it is absolutely incredible. Like, I thought it really was one of my favourite films ever, actually. So yeah, I'll say 1917. What's
your favourite TV show?
I don't really watch a lot of TV. I tell you what.
What do you watch then rather than TV? What do you watch? Is it YouTube or something else?
Yeah, I suppose I just go down the YouTube holes, really.
So what do you watch on YouTube then? Is there anything non-FM related that you watch?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really watch much FM stuff, to be fair, because once you've recorded loads and played loads, you kind of like, I'm a bit FM'd out right now. So
pretty much, yeah.
Mostly it's just sort of stuff that comes up on the sub feed or that's like the homepage and stuff. I do like a lot of slow-mo guys. They're quite interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And then those guys that are called, is it How Ridiculous? And it's so simple. They just drop things off a big tower in Australia, but it's like, I don't know, just really interesting to watch them drop things. There's some sort of like inner child that's like, yeah, drop that big heavy thing, yeah. so that's quite, my girlfriend doesn't get it because I've tried to get her to watching those videos. She doesn't really get it, but I find it quite entertaining. So I suppose those guys.
So Xbox or PlayStation? We spoke before that you were a console guy. I remember it vividly, but are you Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox all day, every day.
Good lad.
The big
question
boys.
For you: have you still got the same game attack you had like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, or have you changed it with the time?
No, still the exact same one. Don't
announce it because you're going to get 40 million people trying to add you otherwise, unless you want that.
It's the exact same one. In fact, I think pretty much all my friends have like the same. My friend's called DJ Briefcase because he loved. I don't know why I've said that because he went in line for that, but he called himself that because he loved the In-Betweeners, and was it Will on there was known as the briefcase guy or something? I don't know. So, but like we all got
DJ
billed.
Briefcase. That's a pretty cool name. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, well, we all had DJ in our names for some reason. I can't remember why we had DJ.
Did you want to be a superstar DJ? Is that what it wanted?
I guess it must have been. I guess we must have been, but I'm not quite sure why we chose DJ. That seems a bit weird. I don't know.
Attribute masking, on or off?
Oh yeah, definitely on. Because what's the point in playing if you can steal the attributes?
Oh, controversial. I'm the opposite. I have the attribute masking off because I'm too lazy to play otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've got to have it on. Otherwise, what's the point in having the scouts almost? But
it's amazing how many of you big boys, I don't mean that in a patronising way, play it with having it on. And then all the smaller guys like me always have it off. So maybe I'm doing it wrong. I should try and turn it on and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
But a lot of the big boys have it on. But I just don't. I just never have. I might have to try now. See how I've literally never tried it with ever having it on.
I don't know. I've never really tried it the other way, apart from with experiments, to be fair. Maybe I should. See what the life's like on the other side.
What's the point of having scouts if you can't? You are right in that respect. You know, there's no point of having a scout in game if you can just see what everyone's stats is in the first place. That sort of makes sense. So, right, 2D or 3D?
Oh, 2D every single day of the week.
Good lad.
I mean, I only put 3D replays on my videos because people like beg for it. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have the replays on. I wouldn't have it in 3D. Everything's got to be 2D. Like, I'm just a purist. That's what it is. Purist 2D.
I do 2D, then highlights in 3D. But that's just me because, well, I don't know why I do it because I pretty much skip the highlight most of the time.
Yeah.
It's a really good goal. Like, I feel like that's good. I skip it, but most of the time I just skip it anyway.
100% agree.
So, who do you think is the most underrated FM content creator? I know it's hard to watch a lot, but do you have any content creators out there that you watch and you think, God, he's good, but he's not a Loki Doki or a Dr. Benji? Or a Twitch streamer, for example. Maybe I know you don't watch a lot of Twitch, but
I've always rated Grey Hair Gaming. Always thought he's been quality. Always thinks he deserves a bit more as well. Like, he's a good lad. I do like Grey Hair Gaming. I haven't spoken to him for a while, actually. I should probably send him a message or something like that. But yeah, he's a good lad. Also, Ollie plays as well. I think he's criminally underrated, I've got to say. I know he's not the most consistent at the moment and things like that, but he is criminally underrated, I would say.
I've got a lot of time for Ollie. I mean, obviously, me and Ollie were the infamous collab crew together.
Yes.
And Ollie he's a sound lad. So this to me is the make or break question. So second to last question is the one that always makes or breaks our potential friendship / relationship. Regen or new gen?
Well, I always say regen. I know it's meant to be regen, but it's regen, back from the old days. So yeah, that's what I say.
New gen's like a swear word to me.
It's a little bit, isn't it? It's a dirty word.
I know Miles calls them new gen, but to me there'll always be a regen. You know when. Well,
he's got to call them that, really, doesn't he? I suppose.
Do you reckon he calls them regens in secret? I reckon he does.
I hope he does. You know, like he's a secret regener or something like that. But for the corporate for the corporate guys, he's got to be like, oh yeah, new gens are amazing. But to everyone else on the back streets, he's like, oh, you want a good regen? Yeah, there we go.
With how bad the faces are for the regens, have you ever looked at using Laura's or What the Fork Game is, or I think it's called FM Moose now? Have you looked at using her face packs?
Like, she does some incredible work. Like, she is so talented and skilled, and I don't know how she does it. Like, it is incredible. But I haven't used it purely because I just love how funny the regens look, and I feel like I can make more memes of that rather than using her. Because if I use her face pack, like, everyone looks incredible, but I can't laugh and make a good funny story about some guy going from an afro to being bald and then back to an afro again in the space of 2 weeks or something like that. So, but she is incredibly talented, and I'd implore people to have a look at her work and get involved with it because she is amazing.
So Lincoln City winning the Champions League, or England, I'm assuming you're English, winning the England winning the World Cup.
Oh, Lincoln City Champions League all day long, every single day of the week, every single day of the week.
So where do you think you guys are going to go the next couple of years? Are you going to stay where you are in League 2?
League 1 now.
League 1, apologies.
No, yeah, I don't know. We had we had Danny Cowley, Nicky Cowley as the managers, and they were just absolutely incredible and took us back up from National League to League Two and then into League One. And then they've gone on to Huddersfield now, which is, fair play. And we've got in Michael Appleton, who I'm not a fan of. I don't know. He's not the manager I wanted at the club at the start, and he never really justified. I mean, hopefully he turns things around and proves it wrong and becomes better than the Cowley or something like that. But the board and his aim and the board's aim is to become a championship club. But I don't think he could take it to the championship. I'm not so sure on that personally. I think we have the ability to get to the championship. I think, that's the highest we'd ever go, championship, and we probably wouldn't stay there very long. But I think we have got the capability of doing that. We just maybe need a different manager to do that, I would say. But saying that, he's not had a full season at the club yet, Michael Appleton, so maybe I'm being a bit harsh. But I don't know. It's just, I think we can get to the championship. It'll take a couple of seasons to do that, to build a squad and things like that. But we should get there. I mean, Luton are the model to follow, really. Like your club, Luton, they've done phenomenally well, and Luton, I feel, are the model essentially that I think I want. Well, not to follow perhaps, because I think you've had a lot of success in a lot of areas. I think we're trying to become a selling club now, Lincoln. We want to get young players in and sell them for profit, and that's the way to do it.
That's what we do. That's basically what we do.
There we go then. But you guys, Luton, have done so well, and I think. Well, obviously the season's stopped now. So were you still in the relegation zone when it's all? Yeah,
we're bottom of the league.
Okay, but still, just that one season of the championship is that's a lot of money, an awful lot of money.
Back promotions as well.
Back promotions. So
do you think that you might need a Neil Warnock-esque manager to come and help you get up? An old head, should we say, or would you rather go for a young, untested, up and coming manager?
I mean, we went young and untested with the Cowleys, and that worked out massively. When they left, I really wanted Gary Rowett into the club, but I just think he was looking for something a bit bigger at the time and wouldn't really think about Lincoln. That's the type of manager I want, a Gary Rowett-esque manager, maybe.
There we go, boys and girls. Another Ben Meets done. That was a great one to have an old boy on the pod, a guy that had around 400 subscribers last time we saw him. Now rise to nearly 15,000 subscribers.
That's mental, isn't it? Really, think about it. It's mental.
That's a pretty steep climb. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, if you could do it, I could do it. So
exactly, that's the thing. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You've just got to keep faith with it. You've got to keep going. You've got to be consistent, and always look to improve. That's what you got to do.
All things that I don't do. I'm not consistent. I don't improve. So I'm either way. Let's be honest with you.
Well, you can try then. You can try.
You were thinking it. I know you were thinking it. But I thought. I'll say it. But it's been great having you on, man. Hopefully we'll get you back on when you hit 30,000 subscribers, eh?
Fingers crossed. That'll be my pleasure, yeah. I'd love to.
Well, anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to bid you all adieu. Thank you for coming. See you later.